It all started when I moved into a new house after getting a job in a new city. All my life I've lived in the countryside, mostly in Alabama. We were a church-going family, even though I wasn't really that religious, but being from the countryside, most people are. I had gotten a job in an automobile factory, and my dad had arranged his uncle's old place. It was in a secluded place and was a fair bit drive from the town, but I could live there rent-free. So, I took it. The place, at first glance, seemed very cozy. It was a classic wooden house, massive for a single person to live in. I hadn't had time to really settle in. The shifting was rushed, and my job had started, so I didn't explore much of the place. The house was always warm, even when it was winter, which was the time I shifted there. I didn't realize it then, but it was less warm on the upper floor than the living room, which was odd since hot air rises up, so it should be the upper floor, which should have been warmer. A few days after I shifted, my parents came to visit. They helped me settle in by helping me clean and unpack some stuff of mine. Being the religious parents they are, they had left a Bible and a crucifix with me. I kept it because it somehow reminded me of them and my childhood. I kept the Bible on a shelf and the crucifix in my bedroom. Most of the days it was spent normal. There were no neighbors around, so I would either go out or be in the house doing something. After a week or so, I started hearing strange noises, like rattling, and sometimes even things hitting on the floor. Since it was an old house, I figured there were rodents or something, which I didn't bother to investigate or get rid of. As days passed by, these strange disturbances grew. One night, there was even a little quake where the whole house shook, and when I inquired the locals, they didn't feel anything around their parts. Every day after work, I would just explore the structure and its integrity. Everything seemed in good enough condition. I had intentionally left out the basement, since that hadn't been opened in a long time, and I had no time to deal with whatever infestation or dust it collected. I intended to call a professional cleaning service. Each passing day, the house felt warmer and warmer, to the point where even the air conditioner seemed useless. All of these seemed somewhat normal, but one day when I came home from work, I saw the crucifix half burned and upside down. I was completely gripped in horror when I saw the charred remains of the Bible in my room. There was a faint trail of ash leading to the basement. My whole body held me back, but my curiosity got the best of me. I took a baseball bat and made my way to the basement. With all my might, I slammed the door open and stood there petrified by the sight I witnessed. The ground had crumbled into a pit, which emitted bright yellow and red light, almost like a volcano. The pit emitted so much heat, the wood near the edges of the pit burned. My mind couldn't process what that was. I was too stunned to run away and too scared to make any move. That was when I heard noises coming from the pit, screams, cries, and low growls of speech. I could make out that it was Latin, like the ones I heard from the church, but I was gripped in horror and couldn't comprehend. I gazed deeply into the pit and saw something from the fiery yellow. Two glowing red eyes stared back at me. My heart skipped a beat when I saw massive horns on the figure with the red eyes, and it gestured to me to come. At that instant, the floor I was standing on collapsed from the burning wood, and I was falling into what seemed like lava. I screamed and cried as hard as I could. Everything went blank then. When I woke up, I was in a hospital. I had been found unconscious in my basement. I was paranoid and told everything that happened. No one believed me. I even saw the red eyes and horns in my day-to-day life and the fiery pits. Everyone thought I was mad. The doctors thought maybe I had brain damage from the fall to my basement and I suffered from hallucinations, but I rejected that and tried to explain. They labeled me as mentally unstable and delusional with schizophrenia. I was even put into a mental asylum. Years later, I gave up trying to convince people and kept it all to myself.